Fowler here from Show Me Streamcast, broadcasting out of the undeclared capital of Central Missouri, St. Robert. Just a couple admin notes before we get started. Oh, that's the phones. It's always something. Usually it's me on the TV, but we'll get started in a little bit. For a couple admin notes, I want to thank first and foremost our sponsors out there. Gold sponsor, the Prue Law Office. Mark Prue and the entire team down in Waynesville, Missouri are your source for great legal support and expertise. If you need any legal support, contact Prue Law Office at pruelaw.net or 573-774-6444. Also, Regina Udley is a gold sponsor for this month. She's running for sheriff of Pulaski County. I encourage everybody to learn about her and her campaign and her platform. Scheduling, we will be having and hosting a debate between Regina Udley and Stacy Ball, candidates for the Pulaski County Sheriff here. We're going to have them in the garage like we did for the primary season. So stay tuned for questions and answers. We may even throw in a game of Law Enforcement Jeopardy. So I'm actually ordered the paddles, the trigger. So we'll see how that goes. If you're a new business near and far, or Camden County or Pulaski County or Phelps County, wherever you are, you're getting started out and you want some visibility free and no charge, come see us, shout us out on the web, give us a message on Facebook, and we'd love to have you come in. Don't even have to come into the studio. We can do it virtually. Wherever you're at, as long as you got a webcam and a decent internet connection, we'll bring you online and let everybody know about you and your business, and get to know about you and help. This is something we like to do for everybody. If you're a political candidate, you'd like to come in and talk your talk and let everybody know about your platform, give us a holler. Come on. Like I said, we can do it from here in the studio or we can do it online virtually. It's up to you, whatever you prefer. We got questions and answers today. If you have questions, make sure you post them to the Facebook Live or YouTube Live. We're broadcasting on both channels today. Before I get started and go too far, make sure I've got a guest in the office today. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you, Patrick. I got Patrick Cochran, candidate for Camden County Sheriff, Constitution Party. I've got like 1,000 questions for him, but the first question I had for him when he sat down with us, tell us about the Constitution Party.
Constitution Party is just what it sounds like. It goes back to the roots of your Bill of Rights. So therefore, it is what it says. It protects us.
Right.
And that's what I think we all need to get back to.
Yeah.
Is it doesn't draw a party or it doesn't draw lines
right.
on either side. It's right back to the original form.
Okay. I definitely want to research that more because I'm always interested in that. And Pat, you need to get closer to the microphone, Pat.
Oh, all right.
There you go.
There we go.
Awesome. So how's that sound? Is that better? That was from Angela Borkowski. Thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate the feedback.
Gotcha, Angie.
So first and foremost, welcome. I appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and what you're doing today in the great county of Camden County.
Grew up in Camden County. Graduated high school there. Lived with my grandparents that owned a business in Camdenton. I was a little bit of a hellraiser growing up.
What?
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Somebody likes Shaun of the Dead?
Somebody likes, yes. Yes. So, went to LETI 11. Worked for Camden County, getting right off the bat.
Right.
Went up to Crocker after that. And then whenever Tony became sheriff, I came down and worked for Tony for 8 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what are you doing now?
I resigned in August of last year, and then pretty much went back to painting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Home repair.
Ready to get back into it.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yes. Can you share what's your main motivation for you wanting to run for sheriff? Because it can't be for the money.
No.
It can't be for the fun and the good times and the sleeping at home every single night. It's got to be a driving purpose. I've interviewed a lot of you guys running for office, and it usually comes down to the same thing, but I want to hear it come out of your mouth.
Driving purpose, I believe in the 8 years that I've worked for Camden County,
right,
we have neglected our personnel outside of the county.
Okay.
We take really good care of some parts of the county, other parts of the county we neglect.
Hmm.
So I think I can bring everybody together,
Right.
work better, you know, pretty much bring better law enforcement to all of Camden County.
Okay. Is it a lot of that related to community policing and functions like that, or
I believe so.
okay,
I really believe in community policing.
okay.
I stand behind the people of Camden County through and through.
One of the common themes I picked up from the candidates here in Pulaski County is that there's actually, that they tell me on the campaign trail, there's actually quite a few people in Pulaski County don't even know who the Pulaski County Sheriff is.
Same with Camden County.
Really?
Same. Yeah,
Wow.
up north on RA 135,
Uh-huh.
we get that question a lot.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. To me, it's just befuddles me.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
I was a CRO. My last years with Camden County, I was a CRO of Max Creek.
All right.
And boy, I traveled every gravel road there ever was down there. I loved it.
Wow.
It was my kind of policing.
Yeah. Especially it's inclusive of every resident in the county. It's not limited to municipality. How was your time working with the law enforcement officials throughout the county?
Todd Davis down in Osage Beach,
Right.
was great. Jeff that just ran for sheriff,
Right.
he was great. Or I guess he's going to retire. I don't know what Jeff's going to do, so that's still up in the air. But yeah, geez, there's Sunrise Beach PD,
Sure.
which Sunrise Beach had rough years, and now Scott Craig's up there.
You're right.
So, yeah.
Speaking of the Sunrise Beach, let's give a shout out to Sport World Boat Center. They should be co-hosting this, and hopefully this is broadcasting from their page that we give them a shout out and helping us out. Now, going to crime statistics, I'm a statistics kind of guy.
Yes.
How would you consider the statistics, crime level statistics of Camden County over the past few years, and what are your plans to address, or what would you say the major issue is of those?
Major issue is still drugs.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Common
Yep.
theme,
and,
it seems
and
like.
fentanyl is picking up by the day.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, and you have to remember that Camden County is unlike any other county because we have an influx of people for the summertime.
Right.
We have an influx of 3 million people at a time.
Wow.
So it turns into Disneyland or, Worlds of Fun overnight.
What's funny, the Ozark series,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah, because it wasn't even filmed here.
Yeah.
But the thought of it that the population has grown by 3,000 over the past 5 years. It's like 48,000 now. But to talk about 1 million.
Yeah, thank you, COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much put the bamboozle on the lake.
Yeah, exactly. What specific strategies do you plan to implement to reduce that crime in Camden County, if elected?
I believe get our pay where we need to be.
Right, for everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Start hiring deputies.
Yeah.
We cannot do it on 3-4 man shifts. Right now, our guys are just working. They're working everything that they can do.
Yeah, and that's covering all of Camden County. How many miles of roads do you have?
What is there? 868 square miles.
Wow.
So.
And those are lake roads. Those are
not fun roads. Yeah.
Those are not
Yes.
speedy.
Yeah, those are wear your brakes out.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, it's a fun place to be.
Would you say there's a gap when it comes to community trust of the police force, of the sheriff's department?
Huge.
Huge.
In the last 4 years, the trust in Camden County has really went down.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your main source you think it is?
There's numerous down
Right.
here, but on the upswing of that,
Right.
let's change it.
Sure.
Let's make it better.
It's an opportunity.
It is.
That's good because the incumbent's not running. Is that correct?
Well, he's running.
Is that the incumbent? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Around Pulaski County, I'm kind of slow.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah, you're up here.
Yeah, or down there, wherever we are. So, what do you intend to improve these community relations and trust? What would you do? What's the first step?
Well, first step, like I said, hiring deputies.
Right.
And hiring skilled deputies.
Right.
yes, it's all right to bring guys out of the academy,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like to find seasoned people.
Right.
You know, the guys that have been in law enforcement 10, 12 years that actually can teach the new guys.
Right.
I think that's what we're really missing.
Yeah, you need. It's not only stability but maturity.
Yes, yes, exactly. So for people to just assume that you can walk into law enforcement and be just a great deputy,
And just get in the car and go.
yeah, no, no. It took me many years.
I can't even fathom the feeling of responsibility somebody has when they put on that badge.
It is something sometimes you don't want.
Right.
You know, I mean, you see things and you're just like, no.
Wow.
But
It's like you get.
we still.
I went to drill sergeant school decades ago, and we called it a calibrated eye. You get in there and they hone you sharp, and you're ready to go, and you see everything that's wrong with the world. As soon as you show up back to the rest of the Army, you just got to look away.
Yeah.
You just got to look away.
You get out of the academy and you think you're all ready, and then something goes terribly wrong.
Right. And a wake up call.
Yes. Yes.
I say I get my education as far as police work goes is watching The Wire. I don't know if you ever watched that series.
No.
The Wire is like the best crime series ever. Oh, it's wonderful. So going back to community policing, what would be your approach, inclusive of hiring more deputies and more like a saturation of the county? But what would be your approach to community policing that will enhance, if or not build back, the trust in the police? And the sheriff's department.
Working with the leaders or the people that want to work with us in those communities can always step up and work with law enforcement. You know, my idea is pretty much the open door policy. You want to talk to me?
Right.
We'll talk. I mean, we'll go out and do what it takes to make that right out in your area.
Mm-hmm.
We have tons of people that are upset on the lake roads during the summertime of cars speeding.
Sure.
You know, traffic enforcement on these lake roads are a huge deal right now.
And there's only 3 of them deputies driving around.
Yeah.
Covering
Most of
all
the time, 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the partnership and working relationship with your counterparts at the municipalities, it just becomes critical.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you better be able to work with everybody.
Because you're all leaning on each other. How do you plan to tackle drug-related crimes other than saturation?
Drug-related crimes?
Yeah, which can often be a significant issue, which is obviously.
I'm gonna lean on my detectives for that.
Okay.
You know, the better we write it,
right.
the better Rochelle can prosecute it.
Gotcha. Rochelle being the prosecutor. Rochelle, what's her last name?
Rochelle Christensen.
Okay.
Yep. I believe the better we are at our job, the better that she can get that handled on the business end of it.
Got to write up where they write up the probable cause statement and everything else.
Yes, sir.
You're talking about a novice here, you know.
Gotcha.
I was an engineering officer or an engineer in the Army. I was.
Gotcha. I forget everybody.
we're
I've
late.
been in a little too long. So.
What partnerships do you envision with the local organizations? Do you think about building or enhancing to help alleviate the drug problems and the crimes problems in Camden County?
I just repeat that for me.
Sure. What partnerships do you envision with local organizations like nonprofits and such like that to help address the substance abuse and drug problem in Camden County?
And well, we have multiple areas that we can go to.
Right.
We have the Compass Health.
Mm-hmm.
We have multiple. The Lake Regional's real good about working with us about, the drug.
Right.
Down there in the emergency room. Poor girls.
No, that's another job.
Yeah, that's a horrible job down there. Our Lenig service right now, it's up in the air. I guess Chris wants to get rid of Lenig, and
That's probably me.
no, it's.
Oh, if it's work, you got to take it. We can break for a commercial.
No, sir. So, I guess Lenig is up in the air.
What is that?
It's a narcotics task force for the Lake of the Ozarks.
Okay, gotcha.
So Chris wants to do away with it. They have talked about going to Laclede County,
Right.
and we're going to have to figure out what to do. Whether we want to bring in-house, narcotics team or mid-mo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not invited to the boys'
Well,
club
sure.
to figure this out yet.
Right.
So we'll have to figure that out whenever I get there.
Gotcha. What about the ministries, the local ministries, and the pastors and stuff like that? With the do you have a prison ministry?
We do not. I don't believe
Really?
so. No.
One of the candidates here local is bringing it up. That's why I bring it up. Maybe
Oh.
it's a potential
And
avenue of approach.
that's a new approach.
Just engaging with the, to remove the recidivism. I said that right the first time. I can't believe that.
Now we do have organizations like Lighthouse
Sure.
out there, but I don't know of any actual church.
Right.
Potter's House maybe.
Right.
So
might be something to look at.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
why
I'm
not
not-
spread the still good ideas liberally.
yes, sir.
There's no need not to. Now we're going to talk budget. But I'm a bean counter by heart, and I'll have statistics and spreadsheets and stuff like that. In what shape, good or bad, do you feel the current Camden County Sheriff's budget's in?
Oh, it's horrible.
Really?
Horrible. I just talked to Jimmy Laughlin earlier last week.
He is?
He is the what is he? The accountant.
Okay, treasurer.
The treasurer. Anyway,
Bean counter like me.
yes, but super good guy. I went up and talked to Jimmy about we passed a blue tax a little while ago, and from the time we passed it to right now, it's at $8.1 million. Now that was supposed to go to deputy pay.
Let me guess. Got taxed.
Well, we've got a little bit of it,
Right.
but it's nowhere near it needs to be. I mean, everybody else in the state is making good money, and
Right.
we brought it up significant,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to just boost it up a little bit more for the guys.
It's almost, in the federal government terms, there's 3 syllables, the time, purpose, and amount with the type of money. If the money was specified for a specific purpose, then that's the only purpose it should be used for.
Yes, sir.
So especially when the tax was passed by the voters, I'm assuming they assumed it was to go towards. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what we did is we sold them on the deputy pay and bringing us up, and
That didn't happen.
I feel that it didn't.
Okay. Well, definitely something to look at.
Yes, sir.
How do you plan to manage the budget?
Manage the budget? Oh, we're going to cut down on our spending.
Right.
Yeah, we've got. You got to figure our budget was $13 million plus the blue tax.
Right.
Passed. So that pushes us up to $15-16 million for the Camden County budget. I mean, that's a huge
That's
share.
a chunk of nickels right there.
Yeah. So you better get things right whenever you go in there. And I hate to lean on our commissioners, James, Ike, and now Steve, but they have got a job ahead of them trying to figure out what our numbers are.
Really?
I mean, we can put numbers in front of them,
Right.
but I feel the numbers that are there are fictitious,
Not based on reality.
not based on reality at all.
Well, that's the cornerstone of a budget is get at least a budget estimate that's sound.
Yeah, that you don't have to go back in and amend it and adjust it every month.
Well, I have my opinion about budgets are estimates, and they should not be adjusted. At least your starting point at $5 at the first year. Well, we went down to negative $3 because, But
Yes.
there's as long as you can follow the audit trail, X, Y, Z, it goes down.
And that's what we also need is, the trail.
Right.
You have to keep track of what you're spending it on.
How do you think transparency fits into that? I know as a taxpayer for Pulaski County, I want to know where the dollars come into.
And I think everybody should.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the program that I'm running on.
Right.
Is I think everybody should be informed on what I'm doing.
It's tax dollars at work.
Yeah.
Now, is there a mechanism in place where the public can be aware of how it's being spent right now? in the sheriff's department, or is it
You can go sunshine it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to just make it open?
Right. And that's my theory on it is you want to know what I'm spending it on, I'll post it.
There's no issues to me. Sure, it's public. I'm tracking. I'm tracking. I get frustrated. And I don't even live there.
Yeah, that's everybody in Camden County is frustrated with it.
Wow, I just can't believe that. Well, let me go back to the budget again. First thing you would like to look at to be a potential cost saving measure.
First cut.
Or looking at the budget, we talked about you cut our spending. What's the low hanging fruit?
Boy, the low hanging fruit's those automobiles.
Really?
Yes.
Are they old?
You got to remember, Camden County right now has 110 post certified deputies.
That's pretty big.
That's big. That's not COs. That's not admin. That's not 911. I mean, it is a monster.
Wow.
So to get that right, you've got to trim everything.
Right.
You can't just run an open checkbook and just expect it to go right.
That's a huge line on the budget right there. Just labor.
Yes, sir.
What about fleet management? Same concept.
Same concept, and you got to figure in fuel.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're going to run all those cars. What fuel goes up and down.
It does. I was talking with the commissioners here, and one of the candidates talking about our road and bridge buy fuel in bulk in advance, but our county sheriff doesn't. So why doesn't the county buy all its fuel?
Yeah, I don't know why that would be. You would figure they'd get both together.
Get a gas card, or at least
Yeah. Yeah, we in Camden County we keep track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you would think the county is one entity, and what a cost saving measure that would be.
Oh, I can't imagine them not doing that. It's such an easy system.
It came to my head too. Another question I had for Regina, because it just segues into another.
Yes.
We've got a 911 call center in the county. We got a 911 call center at the municipalities. Then we have dispatchers.
Yeah, you got comm centers.
Comm centers. Then we have a 911 call center. And I keep on coming back to the question: why don't we have just one 911 call center for the entire county? Do you? Yeah. Well, how are you set up in Camden County?
We run every municipality.
Right.
Not everyone. Sunrise Beach runs through Camdenton now, or Camden County. Camdenton runs through Camden County. Osage Beach has their own.
Right.
So, but all of them, I believe all of them are on Moshwin now.
Okay.
So we all.
Would that be an efficient way of doing things for consideration to consolidate those resources where the municipalities would pay their share based on the number of calls? You distribute the cost back to the cities. And
again, it's all about budgets.
Yeah.
It's all about what they'll let their money be spent on.
And also control.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor likes to have his dispatcher.
Oh, all of them. All of them want their finger on everything. Yeah.
Training, excuse me. In the military, training was the backbone to everything we did. How do you think the training resources or training requirements for the Camden County Sheriff's Department are resourced right now?
I believe our training is pretty decent.
Well,
I really believe our deputies, given the chance, I believe our deputies are equal to anybody in the state.
Wow, that's great to hear.
Yeah, our deputies have stepped up, and they're 100%.
Is the leadership really engaged in the training? The supervisors, the lieutenants, and the captains, and
it was whenever I left.
Right.
Now I don't know in the year that I've been gone. Okay. So we'll have to address that whenever I get in. That's
awesome. That's good. It's so good to hear, though.
And that's one of my points. You know, on my little door knocker. You know, I want to keep on progressing those guys. I want Camden County to be, whenever those guys seek other jobs anywhere in the state or we go to training, I want everybody else to look at Camden County and go, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I think these guys have been cut short for so long.
Yeah.
And I really think we have a great group of guys.
Well, that's really pleasant to hear. We're going to break real quick for not station identification, but for a quick advertisement for Prue Law or Regina Utley. Stand by real quick.
Regina Utley, an independent candidate for Pulaski County Sheriff, has nearly 25 years of dedicated service. She has a deep understanding of the community's needs and has built strong relationships. In her current role, she has conducted thorough assessments to identify and implement necessary improvements. Regina has served in various capacities, including reserve deputy, full-time deputy, and corporal, and has personally trained a K-9 for the department. Her leadership experience and familiarity with the Drug Task Force, combined with her business management education, make her a highly qualified candidate for sheriff.
We're back live in the studio, and we got some more questions for our constitutional candidate for sheriff of Camden County, Patrick Cochran. What kind of analysis do you think you'll need to do to assess the training status of the deputies and the staff of the office?
Really got to get in there and look.
Really?
Yeah. Who I've got picked for the undersheriff.
Right.
He's been in the business a lot.
Right.
Long time. So, by the time Nick and I get in, we can make adjustments, whenever we get in there and see what we've got.
Yeah, and in the military, you have baseline. You have a baseline requirement,
yes,
and then you have you're not called fluff, but you want to get ahead, you got to do these things X, Y, Z.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Which I think we're high on the baseline.
Right.
I mean, we really are. We've got a deputy that is absolutely great at DWIs.
Right.
Or we got about 3 of them.
Right.
That have really DWI enforced. Our drug unit, we're going to step it up a lot on that drug unit and on the kitty crimes.
Right.
I want to really hit those kitty crimes. That's one of my pet peeves.
Oh, that's good.
It's
good to hear. Now, we're talking technology. We talked before we went live how big of a geek I am. What kind of role do you think technology should play in modern policing?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, everything. We don't catch the smart ones.
Right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Those guys put everything on Facebook. I mean,
bragging.
It's an amazing deal. You're just like, oh my.
Now, let me ask you this: going back to the budget and also enabling the deputies to do their job. Who carries an official phone in the office? So does the deputy have to use his own phone, or does he get one from the sheriff's department?
No, he gets the CROs usually get phones because they are out in the community.
The what?
They're out in the community.
Who is that?
The CROs, community resource.
Okay, yeah, we don't use SROs, and that's all we got here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, CROs. Okay.
CROs are. That's what I was.
Okay.
After I got into my little ordeal, they shipped me out there as calm down, yeah. So anyway, they have their own phones. I don't know. Detectives have their own.
Right.
I mean,
they're issued to them.
Yes.
Because my thought process behind that was for auditability purposes. As if I want a sunshine request to my private phone that I use for work, that's got to add the level of frustration to anybody. So you want to look at my private phone, it's got both work and non-work related actions on it. But if we were able to issue those that needed the technology,
Well, in law enforcement, they are. I mean, you take pictures, with your personal phone.
Right.
Shoot, they can confiscate that thing and bring it into court.
Just no matter. I'm more concerned about just enabling the deputies.
Yes.
Just make sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if a deputy takes a picture with his personal phone, yeah.
But he loses the phone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you don't do that very often.
Okay, because my thought process was that enabling the deputies with the budget resources that you have as much as possible, and technology is cheap anymore. It is.
It is
with the capability that it gives you, and without having the deputies to reach into their own pocket for their own technology. Even though you probably have plenty on that staff, a bunch of deputies of 100 plus that are willing to do that. They'll do what it takes. Kind of like the teachers in our communities. They'll spend their own money.
Yeah, I mean, law enforcement. My deputies. I say my deputies, but my brothers. It's not about the money.
Right.
It was never about the money, or else we wouldn't have chose this field.
Yeah.
So
it's like I said, one of the first questions, what motivates you? It's usually a standard, the need to serve, the compelled to serve.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's awesome. I'm going to make a quick shout out to, you see the phone number on the screen. If you got a question, you want to call in and let everybody hear your voice, 573-408-0339. And you call in, we'll pick up the phone, and you can ask your question to Mr. Cochran, and we'll get you on the air. So if you have a question, 573-408-0339. We'd love to have you dial in.
Yeah, going back to the technology thing.
Right.
See, that's something that I don't even know. In all their talks on the budget, I don't even know if they've budgeted in for a new computer system. Right now, their hard drives are wearing out.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're talking a $200,000 upgrade right there whenever you take possession of that place. So
and there's no line item on the budget that you know of for IT.
I wasn't invited to the boys' party, so
that would definitely, as a geek.
Yeah.
It's because I want to know. I'm looking around, looking at these old Dell PCs from Pentiums and stuff like that. And you can just smell the little squirrels in there cooking in there. And because technology is so cheap. It's just whatever I can do to help. If you win, let me come in there and I'll give you some points.
All right.
I do pro bono.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do to help.
The computer system in that place is unbelievable. I mean, it is state of the art, but we're, with the technology that has came out with our body cams, I mean, we have to keep that stuff stored for so long.
Sure.
It takes memory.
Takes a lot. A matter of fact, I got a server up there. It's just what I do. It backs up the whole house, and it's automatic. And you got to have some place for it to go that's safe and redundant.
Yes.
Any specific technological initiatives you plan to introduce?
Everybody's talking about the LPR.
That's
going to be the license plate readers.
Okay.
That's a huge concern on everybody's mind. And I still, just like I said in my last little deal, the children come first.
Sure.
If I believe that LPR will save a child, I'll hang that in Camden County 100%. I mean, I understand Ike hates them. They think that they're
invasion of privacy.
Invasion.
Right.
Yeah. But if that thing will save a child, I'll put myself on the line to save that.
My only caveat to the argument against it being, if somebody was to say the privacy issue, is that you're out in the public. There's no reasonable expectation of privacy. I watch these what they call the First Amendment speech audits. Guys go around just to irritate police officers with the webcams.
Yes.
But there's a fact behind that. If I'm out there in public, there's no reasonable expectation of privacy, and I agree with you. Whatever it takes to save a child.
I'll do it every day.
I may infringe and may burn the sizzle a little bit, but I'm not going to take away your right.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
I got big shoulders. I'll take it.
How do you plan? Here's a good one for you. How do you plan to engage with the youth of Camden County to prevent crime before it starts?
Well, actually, Chris Edgar, the one that's running against me, he has a program down in Votech.
Okay.
And it is a great program to get kids in law enforcement.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. It's like JROTC for the military.
Yes, sir.
Oh, really?
But it just has its little academy down there. He teaches them. He teaches them good.
Wow.
So
if you hear that Stacy Ball or Regina Utley, cue that up for the Waynesville High School.
Yeah, it is a great program, and I'm telling you, the thing doesn't need to be changed.
Well, that's good.
You do that, and then we hold a little junior academy there at the sheriff's department,
right?
And it goes over great every year. The staff really pulls through. And they work with them kids, and they take them out to the gun range with BB guns.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
what about the SRO force? How are you working with them? And what's the size and scope of the SROs in Camden County?
Oh, I think the SROs are great.
Right.
We have guys up in Sunrise Beach. We have guys over in Stoutland and in Max Creek.
Okay.
The only one where I'm missing is Climax, and we're going to work on that.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
We're going to see if we can get somebody down there.
I think it's important. It exposes them to the benefit of law enforcement. This is like a stabilizing force, so to speak, and they're there to interact with the children and show
yeah.
them that they're not.
Show them that we're not bad guys.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with going to the police officer.
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. What initiatives do you propose to foster greater community involvement in public safety? I can repeat the question.
Yeah, repeat that for me.
What initiatives do you propose to foster greater community involvement in public safety?
Boy, it just goes back to the community policing.
Right.
I mean, that just falls back to having a better out. How do you say it? Getting with your communities and being strong in those communities.
Right. Being out there.
Yes. And that's what a CRO's job is.
Okay.
Whenever Tony gave me my job as CRO, he goes, I not only want you to learn the people's name in Max Creek, I want you to know their dog's name.
What a great deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was my job to go around and talk to people, get the gist of things, let them know that we're there. Anything that they need, they can call.
It's kind of like the walking the beat, but
It is.
you're beating your beat is the entire county.
Yeah. But in this instance, we're just giving a deputy those communities.
Right.
So, I mean, we have, 4 different CROs?
Right.
I want to add another one to the mix.
Okay.
So,
that's great. That's a good news story right there.
yeah.
How does your political philosophy as a constitutional party candidate influence your approach to law enforcement, or does it?
Oh, it 100% does.
Okay.
I mean, the Constitutional Party, whenever you put your hand on that Bible
Right.
and raise your hand, that you are putting yourself on the line for that Bill of Rights.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think whenever it comes down to it, that sheriff is your first line against anything.
Right.
Foreign, domestic, whatever. I mean, whenever somebody comes into your county, going to exercise that Second Amendment and try to take.
What a great segue. My next question.
Okay.
What's your stance on the Second Amendment rights, and how does it relate to your vision for law enforcement?
I believe everybody should have one.
There you go.
I believe Camden County, if you don't believe in the Second Amendment in Camden County, there's problems.
Yeah.
Whether you believe in guns or not.
Right.
I mean, a person has the right to carry what they want to carry.
What's the phrase to say? I may not agree with your belief that you have the right to carry, but I die like hell to protect that right.
Yes.
I'll fight like hell to protect it.
I mean, and a lot of people, out in the country, I've done traffic stops tons with people. I don't have a problem with it. And we just had a shooting down in Climax.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, he was in the wrong place doing the wrong things.
Hey, you come down to Camden County, steal from us?
It's time to fight back.
There's 2 sides to that.
Well, sure.
But normal citizens definitely should be able to stand up for their property.
And be able to enable
Yes.
through a weapon or training or whatever.
Yeah, that Constitution says we have the right to.
Now, does the Sheriff's Department offer training to private citizens on weapons use?
Now Tony and Jimmy did give CCW classes.
Okay.
So it will be something in the future that you're going to have to look at.
Okay, definitely.
But we do have the gun range out on the A Road.
I know that. I drive by it every time I go to Lake of the Ozarks.
We have a gun range out there. You're welcome to come shoot on that range for, I believe it's $5-10.
Really?
Yeah. It's open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay.
Anyway, I believe, don't hold me to that, but
We're going to take another break real quick. Give a shout out to Prue Law Office down in Waynesville, Missouri for keeping the lights on here at Show Me Streamcast. Stand by, everybody.
Are you in need of legal assistance? Look no further than the Prue Law Office. Our experienced attorneys specialize in family law, criminal defense, and personal injury cases. We are dedicated to providing personalized and compassionate representation to our clients. Located on the square in Waynesville, just across the street from the courthouse, call us today at 573-774-6444 or by email at pruelaw@aol.com for a free consultation. Prue Law Office, your trusted legal partner in Waynesville.
Studio. We're about to wrap things up. We've been holding Patrick prisoner. If you got questions for him, shout him out. Call us at the number 573-408-0339. A couple of last questions. If elected, how many terms can you serve?
It's unlimited.
Is it for sheriff?
Yes.
We'll say it's time to hang up the spurs. What's your
8 years.
legacy?
8 years will definitely be time.
What's your legacy? What's the legacy you want to leave behind if you're sheriff for 8 years?
Everybody wants to go down as the greatest sheriff.
Oh, of course, you know.
That's
They want that gold watch and the greatest sheriff ever.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want my name on something. Whether it's the bench outside or something.
That's right, or the outhouse in the back.
Yep.
That's awesome. Now, if you had a chance, an opportunity, which I wish it was, I wish we had more viewers, but they'll chime in later, I guarantee it. If you wanted to talk to the entire population of Camden County, all the voters out there, what were the first thing you would like them to know about you and your platform?
Just the honest and transparency of my platform. I don't aim to hide anything from the public.
Right.
They are always welcome in my office.
Right.
In that sheriff's department. It is just, it's something that needs to change.
Right.
And to show up to work.
Right.
You know, to be there.
Do the job.
Be there. Yeah.
I can say as far as transparency, you guys are light years ahead of Pulaski County, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but as far as a website goes and transparency as far as information sharing.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever does that for you guys up there is doing a good job.
They really do. We have a great county. The thing about our county is everybody stands behind our deputies,
right?
Our law enforcement. Without them, we couldn't have passed that blue tax.
Right.
So
if I call 911, I don't care what party you're in or what religion or what the color of the sky your hair is or whatever it is. I just want somebody to show up that knows how to do the job, is willing to do the job, and is enabled to do the job.
Yeah, and we don't care who's calling. We'll show up.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, we're at 56 minutes, about 45 minutes in, and we're going to close up shop here in about a minute. If you have any questions, put them on the thread. I'm going to mute the mic so we can talk about everybody behind their backs real quick.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
And if we have no questions, we'll be logging off about 2 minutes. So if you get them in, call us. We'll get you on the air. Thanks, everybody. About time you chimed in, Mr. Pappas. What's your question? What do we see here? Hey, Pat, will you be open with expenditures made by the department? Transparency can mean a lot of things, but how deep are you willing to get with sharing info is different.
We're going to be as open as we can. Um, we will open our books and show pretty much everything that we've got. I don't want to hide anything.
That answer your question, Nick? Got another one? I know you got one under your sleeve. I'm waiting for you. I can say one of the challenges I overheard from many of the candidates was trying to decipher the way Pulaski County does our budget. Now, I haven't seen the budget. I downloaded it a couple of times. It was just like,
oh, it's
a soup.
Yeah, it is.
And what's Jack Nicholson say? I'm an educated man, but I can't make hide or hair out of it, how they make sense of the different lines. I can deal with Fort Leonard Wood money, and I can make sense out of it. And that's, we're talking $250 million. I can't make sense of a $13 million budget. There's something wrong.
Ours was a lot easier to read.
Right.
About 5-6 years ago. And then when they went to a new system, and I really have trouble reading it. I mean, it kind of jumps all over the place.
Yeah, and it used to be specific line numbers and stuff like that, and you all in the same categories. 1.1 was pay, 1.2 was travel, blah, blah, blah. And you can see, or we'd separated it from pay to non-pay, and then
right.
Yada, yada, yada.
Well, Camden County, see, it's not just the sheriff's department under it's just not all the deputies. You have E911, you have communications, you
right.
have the jail, you have sheriff's department, you have courtroom security. So it's a huge monster to get our budget under control.
You about need a full-time employee just doing the budget, it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely need a.
Thank you, Nick, for your question. We're going to chime off here. It's been an hour. We've been on the air, but 45 minutes live. I appreciate Patrick for coming out. Appreciate our sponsors, of course. Shout out to Sport World Boat Center.
Yeah, thank you, Rhonda and Gary.
Appreciate you chiming in and maybe hopefully hosting this. And with that, we're going to sign off and log off and bid everybody adieu. We'll see you for the debate on 19th for Pulaski County Sheriff. If you have a candidate in mind you'd like to have a debate here in Camden County, I'm just saying I've got one of them pinned down right now. And if the other one wants to come on board, I can set it up. I'll be the moderator or whatever we want, live and in the air and taking your questions. So with that, we'll leave it